Good morning, guys, from this very sunny day. Oh my goodness, the lighting. First of all, thank you for all your lovely supportive comments on my previous jumping video where I had my jump lesson at Berry Farm. I just absolutely love going there now. And do you know what? Honestly, guys, I used to be absolutely terrified of going to Berry Farm. The nerves, the anxiety, and do you know what? I think just having those lessons and just going right back to basics, taking the pressure off, taking the stress off of having shows planned has made me feel a lot more confident. And actually, I feel like that's also laid into Vossi as well. I feel like he feels a lot more confident as well. And I think it also helps that my trainer is also so chilled. And I think when you've had a period of intense training, which I have done in the past, where it is so intense, it heightens my anxiety, it heightens my stress, and it also makes me feel like I'm under a lot of pressure. Like I almost felt like I was like aiming for the Olympics. It was that amount of pressure that I had on me. Whereas now I just feel like I have personally finally feel like it's all relaxed again. And I certainly feel like Stuart's calming aura definitely has a really positive impact on myself and Vossi. So something really exciting actually happened this week. For those of you who don't follow my Instagram, you may have missed one of my announcements, which was that I am now working in partnership with Woofwear. I'm currently wearing their gorgeous navy base layer, and I'm definitely going to be wearing the beautiful new set that they sent me very kindly in the post tonight at Addington. So you'll definitely get a sneak preview of some of those goodies there. I did actually share on my stories. I did an unboxing on my Instagram stories. But yeah, super excited to be on board and be part of the Woofwear team. I absolutely love their stuff. In particular, I love their new Vision collection, which is like a beautiful collection of satin saddle pads. They are absolutely stunning. They do a selection of colours. I've actually got the beautiful rose gold dressage pad and the navy pad, which I'm going to be using tonight, which is the close contact version for obviously my jump saddle. So yeah, I'm really excited. You'll be able to see some of the stuff tonight. Anyway, today I'm really excited because we are actually heading off to Addington. They went under some massive renovations, and the last time I went was honestly about 15 years ago during Pony Club. So I'm really excited to go back. I've heard amazing things about the new venue. I've heard amazing things about what they've done and the investments they've made into the competition venue, so I can't wait to go. We're going for an arena hire. Now, this was such a last minute plan. We only had one time slot available, which is 6 till 7 p.m. tonight. So we are going tonight, which is going to be interesting. But I'm just really excited. I haven't even got a trainer going with me. It's just me, Vossi, and my mum. I'm going to take the pressure off. I'm going to do very similar sort of thing to what I do when I'm training with Stuart at Berry Farm, which is start with one fence, getting confident over it, go over some poles first, then put a cross, then go up, and then slowly add fences before jumping a whole course. And hopefully if we do what we did when we were with Stuart, it will just give me more confidence and make myself and Vossi feel better than ever before. So I'm really looking forward to it. The sun is shining. It's a beautiful day. Not that even matters because we're going tonight. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoy, and let's go. Girl, that light is strong. That sun got a good glow though, must admit. Anyway, I brought Voss in from the field, given him a groom, plaited his tail, because as you guys know, I hate it when his tail is free because he just poos in it and I have to literally wash it every other day. Popped his massage pad on, so he's having a little massage before we head off and go to Addington. He's also got some hay just to munch on before he travels, and then when we get there I'm going to be shooting some content for Woofwear to create a cute little reel, and then we can get on board and mend the jumps because they're probably going to be not the right height for me, and then we can warm him in and have a really good time. Guess what? Dad's coming as well, so we've got me, mum and dad, which will be lovely. So yeah, just waiting for his massage to finish, and then we can load him up and go. Ta-da! But you weren't expecting this, guys. A voiceover, haven't done one in ages, but there is perfectly good reasoning behind why I'm doing this. For those of you who don't like them, I apologise, But when I arrived into the Addington arena, there was music blasting in the background and there was absolutely no way of us finding out how to turn it off. And unfortunately, if I did keep the volume on these clips with the music in the background, I would be done on YouTube for copyright. So voiceover it is. So to start with, Mum didn't actually get this on video, but I did walk Voss around the arena for about 5 minutes just to show him. And then, as you can see, popped him into a trot. Obviously, I did a lot more trot work before bringing him down this line here, which is just a few poles straight over to a cross. And this is exactly what we do at Berry Farm when I'm with Stuart training. Obviously, I don't have a trainer with me. It's just me, Voss and Mum. So I was trying to sort of replicate a lesson as best as possible. And we always sort of start with going through a combination with some poles and a little cross pole as well. So I've just kept Vossi in this kind of relaxed canter, taking him around the ring to bring him round over the poles and the cross again, just keeping him really relaxed, because obviously last time I came over in trot and this time I wanted to bring him over in a really relaxed canter, and he does. He's really, really chilled, and actually I was really surprised how relaxed he was. Don't get me wrong, when I first got in the ring and I showed him round in walk, he was definitely spooking and having a few snorts at the fillers, but absolutely gave him the time he needed. So I'm just popping him around on the other rein now. And one thing that really does frustrate me, which you guys will hear me say throughout the rest of this video, is sit back, Charlotte. Why are you not sitting back? And this is the one downside of obviously not having a trainer with me. He's not on my case to tell me when to sit back. So now I'm just sort of joining the cross to this upright here, which Voss did really nice, really relaxed, and really, really listening to me here. I definitely had my leg wrapped around him today, guys. Best believe it. Obviously, I've noticed in the past my leg isn't as gripped on his side as it should be, whereas this time today I was like, there's lots of spooky fillers, my lower leg is going to be on him, which it was. So I just came round and did the exact same thing again, but off the other direction, and we popped the fillers in this time. As you can tell, we're trying to gradually show Vossi all these jumps because we know he gets overwhelmed, and we want to introduce it slowly to him. So that's exactly what we've done. So I'm just keeping that canter, continuing around the ring to bring him over the combination again, because I felt like it was a little bit rushed and he was a little bit hesitant. That's what I mean by keeping my leg on. So I'm just bringing him steady into it again, over the cross, 2 strides, flew that. So really, really happy with him, just making sure he doesn't rush off after the distance, because he tends to rush off after distances. So now I'm stringing a few fences along. So I've got that yellow, very bright yellow fence, just trying to really get him to listen to me to come off on that dog leg there over the orange upright, which he does really, really nicely. I'm really happy with how he did that there. Just trying to sit back up, ready to bring him over this grey oxer that's coming up here, which he did nicely. And then another dog leg over to the star fence, which he jumped really, really well. So at this point, I'm really happy with him. I give him a really big pat. Now, the main issue I had, oh no, I'm still going. Here we come over the green and purple fence, super happy with him. And at this point, Mum's in my way because I wanted to bring him over to this oxer here. So she ran and missed it kind of on camera. Again, Charlotte, sit up. Why are you leaning forward? I am giving him a pat, guys. I finished off there, but super, super happy with him. So now I wanted to come down this 4-stride distance here, which again, we really struggle down distances. He sort of rushes. So over that, land, 3, 4, and that was a big jump, guys. Jesus, you can't hear because I've turned the volume down. But when I went over that fence, I went, woo! Felt like I was jumping a hedge out on a hunt as opposed to a fence. So I wanted to come round and do it again without the first part of the combination there. So I just brought him round in a really steady canter and he flew it beautifully. I was much happier with that. So I gave him a big pat. As you can see, Charlotte loves to give Vossi pats. And I know I'm not allowed to do that with my trainer. He says, sit up after a jump, stop leaning forward. Anyway, I'm just coming round on the other direction, jumping the green and purple fence, which he did beautifully. And then coming round again to the star fence, jumping it in the other direction as well. Again, Voss did it beautifully, and then jumping sort of the dog leg on the other rein. So I'm coming over the Addington fence, which again, he jumped so nicely. Guys, I have not cut out any clips of me jumping at all. I wanted to keep it as authentic as possible. This is exactly how the session went. So now I think I'm going to string some more fences together. So I'm jumping this combination on the other direction, really struggling to sit up again after the combination. And I know a lot of people said, you need to work on your core. Guys, I have a really strong core. My issue is I don't know how to engage it. What am I doing wrong? I feel like it's got to do with my hips. My hips aren't in the right position in order for me to engage the core to help me sit up. Anyway, oh God, had a bit of a leap to that. And actually I was going to try and bring him over to the orange fence, but we landed that yellow fence quite badly. So I did miss out jumping the orange fence. And it just goes to show, make sure you jump your fences correctly, because otherwise you're not going to be in line with your next fence as best as you possibly could be. So I came down that combination, jumped it really well that time, really happy with him. And here's a little slow-mo clip of Vossi jumping the Addington fence. Honestly, he felt amazing. He was really jumping well. Okay, so by this point I jumped all the fences in the ring and I was like, do you know what? I want to jump this orange fence as if I was in a jump off. So I came off like this angle. Again, sit up, Charlotte. But he jumped it so well and I was really happy with him, to be fair. So now I'm coming back down this distance again. So coming over the first part, sitting up a bit better this time, over the second part, nice and steady, ready to come to my upright on my bend. Much, much better. I find the more I jump Vossi, the better he gets, because half of it's because he kind of knows where he's going this time. Yeah, definitely jumping a little bit better this time. So over the oxer, over the star jump again, really well. And that is it, guys. I gave Vossi a good walk off before taking him back to the trailer, untacking him and then heading back home. Hello, guys. It is the following morning after last night. It was a very, very manic night. Not manic in the sense that, it was crazy, but we finished at 7 p.m. because that's what time my session finished. And obviously I had to untack Vossi. I had to travel back home, which took just over an hour. Then when obviously I got home, I had to sponge him down. This was all in the pitch black. Had to sponge him down because he was obviously quite sweaty. I had to lay his bed. He needed new bag shavings as well. I needed to soak his hay, give him his dinner. So yeah, it was a really, really late one last night. But yeah, I just wanted to sort of have a little debrief, because the clips that I got yesterday, obviously I was doing a voiceover of how I thought we went and how we were jumping and where we were going. But there were some things I noticed that I didn't say on reflection. One of them being, it is so hard when you do an arena hire, you don't have a trainer with you, and you don't have a numbered course. So yesterday there were no numbers out on the course. So of course I had to think to myself, where am I going to go next? Because I couldn't think of a course. I'm useless when it comes to imagining a course. So there was a lot of stop and starting, which when we have a trainer with us at Berry Farm, for example, we don't have that because there is a numbered course out. So I know exactly where I'm going. Whereas yesterday when we were jumping, it was very much a case of I'd jump 3 fences and I'd be like, okay, I literally don't know where I'm going now. Like, I don't know what to jump next. So it was very stop-starty. And there was a point, I think about 35 minutes in, or maybe even 25 minutes in actually, where Vossi dug his feet in again in the ring. And he was just like, I'm not having this, I'm not doing it, and just refused to move. Literally, it was about 5 minutes. And then he just decided, okay, I'm not, I've had enough of standing still now, and then flew round and jumped again. Like, it was the most weirdest thing ever. Obviously Mum didn't get that on camera because she was literally like flapping her arms around like a bird, as if that was going to make a difference. Vossi just stood there like, are you for real, woman? So yeah, really weird, but he was so impeccably behaved in terms of jumping. He jumped absolutely everything, flew out of his skin, felt amazing. And then he just did that silly little thing again. And it's really, really difficult, guys, because his sire, Big Star Junior, does the same thing. And I've watched clips where he literally digs his feet in, the exact same as Vossi. And I've heard a lot of people say it's the breeding and it's like an attitude thing with the breeding, which is just an absolute pain. And this is half the reason why I don't really want to go to shows, because the amount of effort and energy and fuel that goes into going to a show and the money to then just have a horse that will literally just dig his feet in for 5 minutes, it just doesn't make it worth it. Whereas, of course, when you're at an arena hire, it doesn't matter because you've got all the time in the world, during your session for him to play around. But what's interesting is that he has never ever dug his feet in when I have a lesson at Bury Farm with Stuart, and I think that has a lot to do with the fact that we continuously add fences to our round and there is no stop starting. It's a case of I'll jump the first 2 jumps and then Stuart will be like, right, now you're jumping fences 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so now you're jumping fences 1 to 6. Okay, so now you're jumping fences 1 to 8. Do you know what I mean? Whereas with me, Addington yesterday, I was jumping a random 1, 2 fences, then another random 2 fences, breather, stop, then another 2 fences, then stringing 4 together. And as I said, like, I didn't have any numbers to direct me where to go around a course. So, like, of course, I don't think I even jumped more than 4 fences or maybe 5 fences together because I didn't know where to go. So, yeah, it was I was really happy with how he jumped. But yeah, I definitely feel like it's a lot trickier when you don't have a trainer on foot to kind of guide you. And some of you are probably thinking, can't your mum help you? And can't your mum give you advice? Honestly, the only advice my mum gives to me when we're going around is stop and starting, keep going. And I'm like, I don't know where to go. Or I'm really out of breath and I'm like, I need to have a breather now, mum. So yeah, basically what I'm getting at is my mum is not a trainer. So I definitely need like a professional trainer with me to kind of give me the good advice. So, but apart from that, I was super chuffed with him. I thought it went really, really well. I'll be interested, apart from the sitting up part, I know, I get it. I need to sit up better. I'd be interesting to see your sort of comments this time around and what you guys think. But I'm also intrigued by some of you sort of talking about and discussing in my previous video, Vossi's shorter stride. The reason I have learned to hold him back and have a shorter stride is because we have dealt with it's actually an accomplishment for us to be having such a short stride, because before we were so rushed, and honestly down a four stride distance, Vossi was so dangerous at some points he could get a 3 stride in it. So actually, all hell the fact that I can now get Vossi to do a nice short stride. But also through some of those clips you can see when I'm sort of going from one fence to the other, I am relaxing in myself and Vossi is opening up his stride more. So yeah, I would be interested to see what you guys think about that as well. But for now, my arm is absolutely killing because I'm holding it out in my hand. I have been rabbiting for almost 7 minutes, crikey. So I'm going to leave it there. Thanks so much for tuning in, guys. I did also say that was going to be my previous video was going to be my final jump session indoors. Whoops, I take that back. I did obviously jump in this indoors at Addington today, but it was so last minute. I didn't even expect to go. It was mum that found out that the arena hire was on and she asked me to book it, so I did. So yeah, I think, touch wood, I'm not going to guarantee it, but I think that may have been my last final indoor jump session. But yeah, thanks so much for tuning in, guys. See you next time and take care. Bye.